Uh-oh. Yeah. It's Mercy. Music by Mercy again. Heat Nation, we the culture. Yo, E, I need you to call timeout. Need Brady to set the floor plan. Tropical blanket, open for the shot. Yo, Greg, set the pick. Still 5 on the floor, still ride for my dog. Still battle on the court, still survive in the war. Keep your eye on the ball, or get burned from the keep this mic off the wall without turning the cheek. From night to day, no sleepy paths or allowed to morning. The nut is sleeping us, never catch us snoring. Live from Miami, report in the heat with 5 reasons sports from the courts to the streets. Yeah, Wake County, Heat Nation, we say it proudly.
Welcome to 5 on the Floor, a daily insider show on the Miami Heat and the NBA, featuring Ethan Skolnick, Greg Sylvander, Alex Toledo, Brady Hawk, and others from the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Also, make sure to subscribe to Off the Floor for the most heat anywhere.
Welcome to 5 on the Floor. We decided not to go live tonight. Probably could have. We've got all 4 of us. I'm Ethan Skolnick, and follow me, Ethan J. Skolnick at 5 Reasons Sports. Thank God this road trip is over. We can get some sleep. I got Brady Hawk at Brady Hawk 305. I got Alex Toledo at Tropical Blanket, and Greg made it. So I'm going to finish with him here. He made it. He made it to a post-game show on the road. Follow him at Greg Sylvander. The Miami Heat lose by 10. Was it 10 to the Denver Nuggets tonight? Lots of storylines tonight. The number one storyline on the court was the rebounding, 61-38. Going to repeat that. 61-38. That was the game. I mean, that was the game, right? Is there anything else to really discuss beyond that? We're going to discuss a key player for the Heat that went out that contributed to this. But Jokic, this is cartoon numbers. 33, 15, and 16. Excuse me. 33, 15, 16, 3 steals. Tim Hardaway Jr., 18 off the bench. I thought he was big in the first half. Aaron Gordon always hurts the Heat. 24 and 6. The Heat side, Norman Powell is going to get 20 in his sleep every single night. 23 tonight. Not much in the rest of the box score. Andrew Wiggins had 22, 4, and 5. They kept him in it, along with Jaquez. 21 in 26 minutes. Kel'el Ware is a different conversation. He did finish with numbers, 13, 13, and 4 in terms of the steals, the 4. There was some other stuff that left something to be desired. But the big story tonight, Bam Adebayo leaves after 8 minutes, 2 points, 1 rebound, and hurt his foot. Will Mansell put up the video. Some others put up the video. He'll be evaluated tomorrow. We'll get more of an update on that. The Heat are coming home to play a back-to-back on the weekend. Finally coming home. Not the most challenging opponents compared to what they faced on the road, but obviously they don't want to be without Bam for long. Can we say this before we move on to this game? Is there any question that Bam's the most important player on this team?
No question.
No.
Right?
No, everything kind of just falls apart.
Right.
And it's not only just him; it's the rest of the roster construction. I mean, I've said before. I mean, if Kel'el goes down, they're in trouble. If Bam goes down, they're extremely in trouble.
What if Kel'el just takes 6 or 8 possessions off? Are they in trouble then?
Well,
that happened
happens
tonight.
a lot. But
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Bam goes down, at least you own your pick.
Right. That's the way to look at it. I don't think there's any question, right? Like when we start having this conversation about his salary, I know I'm right in Greg's wheelhouse right now, but for all the criticisms of Bam, they cannot win for any prolonged stretch without him. They're just not, they're not built that way. Like we said, they defensively, everything else, the rebounding would not have been what it was tonight if he played, even if he's not considered to be an elite rebounder. He would have solved a lot of this. So we'll get into, over the next couple of days, whether he's going to play, how long he's going to be out. If he is out, then I would assume Ware's going to start. So before we get to the player of the game, which I will talk about Jokic, Kel'el tonight, because there was a lot of debate. We have some in our network who will defend him through anything and others who will not defend him at all. I think he's the most polarizing player on the team now, right? Is that a fair thing to say? I mean, is he more polarizing than Tyler?
It's one of the two.
Okay. Alex, I'm going to go to you on this because you always have thoughts. Like, I mean, isn't this what Spo's talking about, though? Like 13 and 13, like the numbers are there. Like he's a walking double-double just when he's on the court. But there are just some possessions that you're like, there's someone we all know, Trilly, who follows the team pretty closely, who said basically it's like his controller turns off, like, or something like that, like in a video game, like between possessions sometime. Like, what's going on there?
I think it's bad habits. And that's why sometimes I don't think like the motor stuff properly assesses some of the things that he's doing wrong. It's like, I don't think it's because he doesn't want to do things. I think he has bad habits that he's had throughout his career because he's so tall, he's so long, he's so athletic. And I've said this before, like he hasn't always had to like work for every rebound. Now in the NBA, you go up against the Nuggets tonight, you've got Jokic and Valanciunas as the center rotation. Two guys who are great rebounders, who are super tall, super strong. They're not like, I get it, like Ware is more athletic than them, but it just doesn't matter if you're not going to like put a body in front of him and work for it. You know, like sometimes like he grabs a lot of rebounds that go right to him. And I'm really glad that he can do that. That's awesome. But when it's like these 50-50 rebounds, which was so obviously like the biggest problem of this game by far, there wasn't really a second of course, other than Bam, like getting hurt. But as far as like what happened on the court, the rebounding was just so much more of a problem than anything else. Like it wasn't particularly close. And I think that second quarter is where it really stood out the most. And look, like I went on with a lot of energy on playback tonight because I was very flustered with what Ware was doing out there in that second quarter. And I went on a little bit too hot on him in that. And look, check it out, playback.tv/5RSN. We have a good time watching the games. And
I went too far, but make sure you watch it. That's good. Anyway.
Hey, look, we all come on there with energy, and we're all enjoying the game and, you know, having fun, talking ball. It's all basketball at the end of the day. And look, I went at him a little bit, and I know that I tend to go at him. It's just because these bad habits are things where it's like it's fundamental to his position, you know. Like I get it, it's not all his fault. The rebounding was absolutely not all his fault, but not by any means. But there was so many possessions where he just was not putting a body on anybody. And when you're the five being tasked to box out and grab rebounds over other fives like Jokic and Valanciunas, the body just has to be there. Like it's the most fundamental part of rebounding as a five. It just is. And he just wasn't doing it in that second quarter. And look, I picked out like some of the stats from the second quarter, specifically with Ware and what the Heat's rebound percentage was. In that second quarter, when he was on the floor, they grabbed 44% of defensive rebounds, the ones that are supposed to be the easier ones. 44%. That's awful. That's awful. Now, look, I'm going to give him credit. In the second half, those numbers were much better. He grabbed the 77. I mean, the team did. The team grabbed 77% of defensive rebounds in the second half. At that point, it was already too late. At the half, you were being out-rebounded by more rebounds than you had in total. They had so many more shot attempts. Like, it's just so hard. Not
21
even
to 5.
I'm sorry?
21 to 5 offensive rebounding tonight.
Like, exactly. Like, you have no shot when they're just dominating you in the possession battle in that way. Like, you have to have an incredible offensive night to mitigate that, because they're just getting second chance after second chance.
They took 101 shots tonight.
And the Heat took 10 more shots.
Right. I mean, the Heat hyped the pace, but I mean, it's like you're playing double the game essentially. And the crazy part of this, Brady, is that he ends up with 11 defensive rebounds. Nobody else in the team ended up with more than 4. So it is tough to say.
Go look at them. He's grabbing the ones that are going right to him.
But this is why I get it. And this is why box score watching is problematic, because, you know, it doesn't tell the whole story. But
and boxing out is not always going to lead to a rebound for the player boxing out, is the thing.
Correct. Yes, I know. Brady, like, is anybody else at fault here on this? They gave up 61 rebounds tonight.
I mean, for sure, it has to be a collective. It's not all on one guy. But when you are the sole big man on the roster in a game where when Bam goes down, which is another problem in itself, that that happens, and Keyshawn Johnson's playing the backup 5. He has to be able to clean up those box outs. I mean, the box outs, the number one thing. Yes, he's getting some of the easy ones, but 100%, Alex is right. The box out stuff is there. And look, number one, like, I'm not expecting him to be able to use his weight to box out Jokic or Valanciunas. I'm just not expecting it whatsoever. But you have to provide the energy and the ability to try and put yourself in a position to get them. As much as he doesn't have the bulky weight, he has the vertical spacing enough to be able to just go up and get it. So if he has kind of like that springy feeling that he has at times where you notice it's not just him putting his hands up and grabbing a rebound, it's him jumping up and kind of going to get it. It's just kind of a difference maker. So it's not all on him. I mean, they're going to have to figure that out. And look, a lot of the time, too, is when Jokic is playing in this role, it's him at the top of the key. It's him on the perimeter. It's him playmaking like a quarterback. So a lot of times, Kel'el wasn't even at the rim. It's him kind of staying out of three-point line. So that leads to it as well. That's when the other guys kick in. But this team brings a lot out of you because they're just so hard to defend. I was saying before the show started, like, Eric Spoelstra, like when teams and players, coaches, when they face Eric Spoelstra, they know Eric Spoelstra is going to dictate terms. When he comes on the court, it's like if there's a star player, Spo can come into a game and say, we're going to take him out of the game plan. We're going to throw to it, and then we're going to let somebody else beat us. The one player or one guy that I see that dictates terms, like just totally and takes the game out of Eric Spoelstra's hands is Jokic. Like when he plays and they play on Jokic's terms, I don't know if it's the high altitude. I don't know if it's Denver's a better team. I think the main reason why they can't win in this place is just because of that reason. Like they cannot ever dictate how they want to. Like as much as they're leaning into this fast-paced style, it's like Jokic wants to play slow. He wants to get into the half court. He wants to sit there and hold the ball for 15 seconds until he finally finds a cutter. He's going to do that, and they're going to play the way that they're going to play. So that's just kind of other than the rebounding, that's what stands out to me in a matchup like this is like it's just a really good player that just dictates how he wants to play.
Well, I will say the problems in Denver predate Jokic, but you're right. I mean, it is what it is now. I mean, it always was the last game of the road trip. And I just remember talking to Dwayne on those trips, and he's like, yeah, I'm taking that one off. Like, they just knew, like, Mike Miller would be like, okay, I'm going to be playing in that one. Like, what's the point? Like, seriously. Like, it's when it was Carmelo. It's when whoever it was, okay? It was J.R. Smith tearing them up. But, Greg, isn't there, and we'll get to the player of the game, and we're going to talk about Jokic specifically here in a second. But, I mean, isn't there a roster construction issue here? Like we talked about this the whole preseason. Like if they lost one of their bigs, what are they going to do? They brought in Precious. He's now signed elsewhere. They didn't obviously love what they saw there, but they were also trying to stay under the tax. Now they got the one empty roster spot. They got the Rozier roster spot that the league is screwing them on, essentially. But I mean, now like Golden is not an NBA player at this stage. I think that's been established.
Agree.
What are and let's be honest. Keshad Johnson's not really an NBA player at this stage.
He's not
right?
ready. No, he's not ready. And they don't have anyone else to play up front. It's more than roster construction when you talk about Bam. Like it's a fatal loss. So we got to just see where that comes in. Like that's a huge part of this conversation. But in and itself, they're just not big enough. I don't know how Spo is going to be able to, even if Bam's out for 2 weeks, like let's just say that they have a back-to-back coming up at home. He's going to have to really trust a guy who he has not shown that he trusts yet in Kel'el Ware. So that's going to be a big thing to watch. And I just don't know how they don't at least maybe grab a 10-day contract big for a little bit here at a prorated amount and maybe stay under the tax or figure out a way to stay under long-term. Because they're just so thin.
Yeah, no, they are. And he doesn't really trust Jovic either right now. So you're talking about...
That's weird. Those are your two blue chip young players. Sorry to interrupt you. And for them to both be in such weird places with their roles is not what we expected. Obviously, Jaquez and Fontecchio, it's been great. But Ware and Nico, it continues to be like just a weird vibe.
Get the player of the night ready, but I just want to mention Jovic's stats because people feel like we bang on Ware, but not Nico. Nico tonight, -8, 1 of 6 from the floor, 4 turnovers. He's not popping. And this is the type of game that, again, I thought he might be effective in, and he wasn't. And so this is now, we're now 8 games in. He's had 1 game really where I thought he looked like I believed he was going to look. It ain't great. It ain't, but we're getting on Ware, And meanwhile, we'll talk about Jaime before we get out of here. But it's one of them has been better than the other two combined by far, and it's not the one that we expected. All right, let's get to the player of the night.
And now it's time for the A-Aggressive Insurance Player of the Night, sponsored by our friend Lynette. You can find her at insurancebylynette.com. That's with 2 N's and 2 T's, insurancebylynette.com. If you need car insurance, renter's insurance, homeowner's insurance, or any other type of insurance, she's the person to go to. Based in Lauderhill, she services the entire Tri-County area here in South Florida, and she will make sure to get you the best deal. She'll probably talk to you about the heat while you're at it. Reach out to her, insurancebylynette.com. And now, the player of the game.
All right. By the way, we have Mateo Mayorga in Denver tonight, so make sure you're checking out Off the Floor because that's where Mateo is posting. He does some of our road stuff for us as well as the writing for the websites, including on SI. So check out Off the Floor link as always in the description. Alex says I have to do that every time, and I should be doing that every time. So there you go. $2.99 a month. You can cancel at any time. And there's plenty of fun debates between our group on there. There was a couple tonight. So you can check that out. That's where the action was tonight. Seriously. That's where the passion was. You know what? If Kel'el Ware just had the passion on a possession by possession basis that some in our network have for or against him, we would be talking about Will Chamberlain. Seriously. Check out Off the Floor. Okay. Inside jokes, but if you were on Off the Floor, you'd know. Anyway, I want to mention a couple of Heat players before we go forward here, and we're just going to glaze Jokic. Davion Mitchell, again, 9 assists, 3 turnovers, another 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Again, he made 1 of his 2 threes, 4 of 6 overall. It's just Davion's a good player at this point. It really, really is. I mean, pretty much every night. You know what you're getting. I mentioned Norm, 23 points tonight. He was 5 of 15 from the floor, not his strongest game in that regard. He got swatted a couple times. Actually struggled from 2 tonight. He was 1 of 7 from 2. He was 4 of 8 from 3. Larson got another start tonight, had 6 points. And Jaquez, before we get to Jokic, 21 points on 9 of 14. Just consistent. He's been there every single night. And I know we don't like the singles game plus minus, but again, he was better than the team. -5, whereas the team lost by 10. So they've been a better team when Jaime Jaquez has been playing this year than when he hasn't been. It's just that's been consistent, and it is not something that we expected. But again, I'm going to go to Jokic, and look, Shea's great. Okay, he really is. Like he's giving you 30, and you're not even feeling it. Like he's giving you 30 to 32 the first 3 quarters. We know what Luka is. We know what Giannis is. But Brady said it. This guy is just different. Like if they have the right pieces around him, they will win a championship. And I actually think they have the right pieces this time. This is a much better team than the one they brought in last year. Tim Hardaway Jr. gives them something off the bench. Bruce Brown knows his role with this team. I thought that they missed him. Valanciunas gives them minutes behind Jokic, which they haven't had that type of player before. They were playing like the corpse of DeAndre Jordan. And Cam Johnson hasn't gotten it going yet. But I think by the time that the end of the season comes, he'll be better than Michael Porter Jr. Again, I don't think he's ever leaving Denver. I don't think that the Heat can get in on this, Greg, at any point, right?
No, I'm not hoping that. No, he would pick.
No, it could be the Lakers. That would be the one place as he goes and plays with Luka. I can see that.
Yeah, for sure. I would say this. We were talking pre-show, and I posed the question of, I think the Joker has to now be considered the greatest international player of all time. Like, I think like he's in that conversation. And I know that when we were like ranking players during the offseason, when we try to find a million different things to pot about, I mentioned Dirk as a potential like best international player ever. And then also, I forgot it was Alex or Brady mentioned Hakeem pre-show. I mean, I think Joker's going to end up being the greatest international player ever because he's just that good, and he's racking up statistics at a rate that when it's finished, I can't believe what he does. It's it's just a one-of-one archetype.
Akeem, who I'm partial to, but if he gets the second championship here, then I think again that's another conversation. I mean, how many MVPs do you have? 3? He could have had 4. He could have had 5. They gave them one to Embiid, which to me was,
16
it's a lot of
assists to
flopping.
3 turnovers is absolutely ridiculous. Not to mention
It's
how
insane.
efficient he was as a scorer, how incredible he is as a rebounder. And by the way, like they're still better with him on the floor. Like their defense is still better with him on the floor than not. For as much as he has like flaws on defense, it's not like he is this insane liability that allows them to not win. Like it's unfair. You can't take anything away from him. You can't force him to a certain side. He's effective from every spot on the floor, and he's maybe the best passer in the league, and is going to diagnose whatever you're doing on defense every time. And the Heat cannot stop that shit. Like they just the Heat love to help throw out like these type of defenses that work against most teams. You just can't do it against Jokic. And by the way, like the Heat held the Nuggets to a 27th percentile half-court offensive rating tonight. And the Heat themselves scored in the 70th percentile in half-court offensive rating. Like literally the difference was all the extra possessions. Like there's really just this game really just came down to one thing more than anything else.
It also came down to one player. I want to focus on him in the play of the night because Greg's got a quote, but we'll use the quote as part of this. So let's get to it from our friends at C-Arm.
And now it's time for the X-Ray of the Play of the Day, brought to us by our friends over at Mobile C-Arm and Staffing Services. Nelson and his team will bring the X-ray equipment and the staffing to you. If you work in a hospital or a medical office, get a consultation today at c-armandstaffing.com or give them a call at 561-891-9620. Their fleet of trucks at your service. Again, it's Mobile C-Arm and Staffing Services, 561-891-9620. And now, the X-Ray of the Play of the Day.
Well, we're talking about X-rays. That's where we're at. The play of the day was when Bam went out. Let's give a quote here and hope that this isn't too bad. Greg just posted this on Off the Floor. This was from Bam. I felt a pain in my foot, so I took it upon myself to check myself out and go see what happened. We'll figure it out. We'll get more tests tomorrow and see how it goes. Bam has been pretty damn durable over the years, especially considering the load that he carries. We'll just go around the horn on this one real quick. I mean, what is the solution, Brady, if he misses any time? You start Kel'el. I mean, Jokic is the backup 5. Drew Smith is the backup 4. Like, what are we doing here? Seriously.
Yeah, Malik has to suit up, I guess, at that point. Yeah, like Kel'el has to start at that point, and this is the spot that they're in. Like, they don't really have another clear option behind that. It's going to be a lot of nights where they're playing small ball. And look, I mean, if there was a season to do it, it would probably be this one where they're leaning into this new style of offense. It's like if they did this in past years, they go small ball, they can't score or defend. And that's what was happening when they'd go down. They have a team this year where maybe they could still find ways to just outscore teams. They're a top 3 scoring team for a reason, play faster in those lineups. It's just that I'm not very confident in their small ball lineups either. I mean, if they're running Keisha at the 5, it's not like you're having the best offense in the half court on the other end too. So, I mean, the defense is the biggest thing. There's a glaring hole defensively with a lot of these matchups. They can't do a lot of the same things. They're forced to go to zone. As we were talking about Kel'el earlier, it's like another reason for the mix-up is like, yeah, you have to go zone against a lot of these lineups. But the thing that happens is zone, it's harder to rebound. You got to find a box-out guy. It's just much tougher. So, but that's the reality of the situation. If you have Kel'el, if you're going to small ball lineups, there's going to be a lot of nights moving forward where you have to go zone. So that's kind of the thing right now. But luckily, I mean, look, they have 3 guys right now that are pretty solid offensive options. If we're talking about the offensive end, like Bam has been a pillar of their offense to start this season. But Powell has come onto the scene firing. Just quickly, I'll say some of my takes from the Heat side of it is Powell he's been great. I mean, he's coming out game firing, he's getting shots off and all stuff. But the one thing I noticed is like I feel like he comes out the gate extremely hot in terms of attempts, and it kind of tails off. Where I know it's a night where he had 15 shot attempts, he led the team in shot attempts, But even with that said, I feel like he could be a little more selfish. Like I feel like he could get more shots up. I feel like he can get to his spots better. Like instead of kind of tailing off as the game goes, and he's picked it up in fourth quarters. It's not saying that. He's gotten his numbers. He's hit big shots. But I almost feel like he should be a little more aggressive, and that's going to be needed if you're cutting on a big chunk of shot attempts with Bam if he was to miss time. So that's just one. Wiggins is somebody that's finding his footing. I mean, he's kind of the opposite, where I feel like he kind of picks the spots throughout the game. It's just sporadic. It's random. Like he kind of just goes as it is. But yeah, I mean, defensively, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a lot of zone, but offensively, it's almost like I hope they're in Powell's ear when he looks at the bench and sees if Bam does end up being hurt and Hero's still sidelined. It's like, okay, well, let me shoot for 18 shot attempts in this game.
I'm glad you mentioned Tyler, because this is the unfortunate part of this. People say, when does Bam have to get back by? Can he be back by the time, if he does miss time, that Tyler's back? Because if they're going to go through this thing again, where one guy is out and then the other guy is out, we've seen this kind of season after season, and then it's like, will they ever get right back together? Then a lot of the good feeling of this early season is going to go away. Look, 4-4, Greg, you'll take it. Like, you look at this opening schedule, you look at the 2 games over the weekend, like they should get out of 10 games plus 500. But now you don't have Bam. You may not have Tyler. Powell's back. But again, it's 1 in, 1 out. We've seen this over the past few years. That's my concern is, like, Tyler seems to be targeting based on, there's like rumors that maybe November 17th. I'm not going to put a date on it. You just don't know with the Heat, right? But I mean, something around a week and a half from now, maybe 2 weeks, we could be seeing him back. If Bam's going to miss 3 weeks, again, I'm not projecting that. I'm just saying, then that kind of sucks. Then it's like you got to start over again at the next time the next guy comes back, right?
That sounds like the best case scenario, honestly. Like, if you have Bam and Tyler both on the court within the next 3 weeks, I think you got to feel pretty damn good about yourself.
Do you think does the Bam thing sound that bad to you? I don't know. It's hard to read with the quotes.
And he didn't sound particularly concerned. Obviously, I can't tell tone, and I'm just the quote that I posted on Off the Floor. We're getting from the Miami Heat. So we'll see what the tests come back. If he's out for an extended period, I have big picture questions that is going to take a whole nother episode for us to talk through, especially guys like Norm on expiring contracts. But for now, I think that the problem is it doesn't matter when Tyler's coming back. He doesn't fill the stuff that Bam provides them defensively at all. So it's more about, they got through this period without Tyler, presumably near 500. Could they do the same if it's Bam for the next few weeks, stem the tide so that then they're both on the court? That might be your best case scenario.
I know this doesn't always mean something, but I will say, I mean, Bam was, when he went out, he was questionable to return, which, I mean, this was a game that got away from this, so obviously he didn't come back. But like, I feel like if it was like, we don't know, but if it was something extremely serious where he felt a pop or he knew something, then it would have been out for the rest of the game.
You're right.
See, I kind of feel like the Heat, like somebody loses a limb and he's still questionable to return. I just think they like throwing that that cloud over it. I mean, I guess, Alex, if Bam's out for an extended period of time and Tyler comes back, then you're just looking at like the Dame CJ Blazers, right? They just try to outscore everybody.
God, the Miami Heat team that has to lean on offense and not good defense is just something I don't know that I've ever seen in my life. But man, like that might be. Very well could be the case if he's out for an extended period of time. Obviously, we don't know yet, but man, just like looking at the stats so far from this season, man, their defense, goes down by 9 points per 100 possessions when he's off the floor. And not only that, their offense, to Brady's point, also goes down by 6 points per 100 possessions when he's off the floor. Like, he is, extremely important to what they do on defense. And on offense, like, you just lose a playmaking hub and a guy who has like, for all like the driving kick stuff that has worked really well, and them getting into the sets quicker and getting into their offense in general quicker. Like one of the reasons that Norm has looked so good is Bam is able to find him off the curl and hit him with that timely pass, and like he's getting some of those easy buckets off the catch. Like, I think we're gonna get to see Kel'el in that position, and look, Kel'el is a willing passer, but it's a different level, right? Like, Bam is obviously like one of the best playmaking bigs in the league, and I think losing that aspect, the fact that he's been somewhat of a stretch 5 at times for them this year, and everything else that he brings. Like it's a huge loss. It's a huge loss, man.
The other problem, we'll close it here. The other problem with not having the extra bigs on the roster is when Kel'el has these moments where he's drifting, Spo won't even be able to yank him, right? You just have to let him play through it, which I know Heat fans want to see, and sometimes Kel'el does respond in that capacity, but you'd like Spo to at least have that lever to pull, and he doesn't have it. He doesn't.
UD ain't walking through that door.
Well, no, he could. I mean, UD. I mean, you could sign UD to a 10-day. I mean, you could. You could. I don't want to say anything. He lives.
James
Wiseman,
Wiseman, anyone?
Yeah, I know. UD lives in Broward County. He's too close to me, Mr. 954. I don't want to upset him. Anyway, Greg, appreciate it. Brady, appreciate it. Alex, appreciate it. I said 15 minutes. It's 31. Go to sleep, everybody.